Yesterday, I went to get my hair done at my sister's house, and I was literally there all day. I think I got back home at around 11 o'clock at night, almost midnight. And today, all I've been saying is I just want to be in the comfort of my own home, and I just want some alone time today, some me time today, some just whatever. I just want to be to myself today in the comfort of my own home. Don't get me wrong, my niece did my hair and she did an amazing job. The end results turned out just how they were supposed to. It's just the process is what the process was just too long and just too much for me. I felt overstimulated by the end of it. I just like towards the end of it when she was finishing up, I was already in my head planning the next day of how I was gonna get my alone time and my me time in the comfort of my own home. Like I was already thinking like, yeah, I don't want to be bothered with nobody tomorrow. Don't nobody hit me up to come out, do this and that. Cause no, I just want to stay at home. That's the vibes I've been feeling today. You know, there was some plans. I got invited to go out, spend time with my son's father side of the family, and I was just like, no, I just need some time to myself today. So I've just been thinking about, I wrote a lot of like journal entries and stuff about just like homes in general. Like when I was going to my aunt's house, I would walk around the neighborhood and just wonder like what type of things was going on in these people's homes. Cause it's like, you can be in such a quiet neighborhood and you think, you know, it's just peaceful. Everybody's at home, peaceful, chilling, watching TV or whatever, or out at work. And you never know, it could be some really dark, deep shit going on behind closed doors. Or it could be some, you know, nice, exciting things going on behind closed doors. It could be somebody making some YouTube videos. It could be the next person that's gonna have 1 million subs on YouTube or something behind closed doors in that neighborhood. You never know. So I just wrote about that before, but today I was thinking about it in a different perspective, just because I was so focused on I just want to be in the comfort of my own home today, since I spent all day yesterday in someone else's home, and I just felt like I wasn't, I mean, it was my sister's house, so you know, I was comfortable, but at the same time it's not my house, so it's like I can't just kick my feet up freely and lounge around. I do just whatever I want to do in my own home. So I don't know, I guess weird trying to figure out how I'm trying to word it, but I want to do another journaling session on that, because just the way I kind of feel like I done let a lot of it go now. Let me see if it'll all come back to me. And today is Monday the 24th. And it is 7:23 p.m. And I'm going to start this entry off with, I don't know, for some reason the first thing that popped in my head was home is where the heart is, but that's not even what I was trying to say. So I guess I'll write that down anyways, but that's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say was what I was just talking about this whole time, the comfort of my own home. I don't know how I want to write that though. Like today, I just want to be in the comfort of my own home. I don't know. But I feel like I need to write home is where the heart is, because it just keeps popping up in my head. So while I'm writing this, I just wanted to stop to say I was feeling like I needed to take this time today to myself to like, I guess, like recharge from, being all day in someone else's space while I was getting my hair done. Because I felt like if I didn't take today to do it, then I wouldn't be able to do it probably the rest of the week. And then I would just be completely thrown off track again, in a slump. Just, I don't know, like I was already like, I know I need this day for myself. I know I need this time for myself, because if I don't get it, I know what's going to happen for the next couple weeks or so. I'm just going to be like off track mentally and physically. But also, if I never if I never try to go into these uncomfortable spaces and get familiar with them, then it's always going to be that. It's always going to be that I'm going to be uncomfortable there. So I'm trying to like run from it or escape from it or avoid it or whatever, and stay in the comfort of my own home, like stuck behind my own walls or whatever, like just never going out. And it's hard to explain. Let me write some more. Okay, I don't know exactly where I was going with this entry. I feel like I'm not even finished with it, but I'm probably gonna stop right here, just have a stopping point right here, and I'll probably come back to it later on tonight or something, or just after I have a little bit more time to myself, because I don't want to spend the whole time of this day or period or whatever that I'm taking to myself journaling and recording videos. But what I have right now, and then I'll try to talk about where I was trying to go with what I was saying. But yeah, this entry it's kind of all over the place. But home is where the heart is. Today, I just want to be in the comfort of my own home. I spent so much time yesterday in someone else's home, I was already planning my alone time for the next day. I just want to be in the comfort of my own home, with my own mind, body, and soul. Nowhere else that would make me feel discomfort. But I can never make those spaces or places comfortable or into a home if I never go. Comfort comes from a feeling, yes, experiences, but it's also from familiarity. The more you do something, the more familiar you are with doing it, the more confident and comfortable you are with doing it. And with that part, it's like, you're not gonna make any place that you feel uncomfortable with going, or every time you go to that place it makes you uncomfortable, or you don't really vibe with the people or whatever. Like, yeah, that discomfort comes from experiences that you may have had with those people, or a certain experience that you may have had going to that place, or you may have anxiety for whatever reason about that certain place or about certain people in that space. And in that sense, okay, you can, if you have a feeling, which feelings to like trust and which ones is kind of like just trying to make you self-sabotage yourself, I guess. I'm trying to come with the words of that. They come, and like if I'm sitting here and trying to really focus on what I'm trying to say and write, it'll come. But me trying to do it, and then my son's back there trying to cry now, like I should have had him go somewhere too so I could really have the day and time to myself. But anyways, the more confident and comfortable you are with doing it. Sometimes you have a feeling and you know to not go against your gut, or you'll find yourself full into some junk you can't stomach. But sometimes you just try to avoid what's on the plate because you claim you're trying to watch your weight, to not be obese with overthinking, overfeeling, and overreacting, acting out on your discomforts. So I do want to turn this journal entry into a poem, which is why I said I'm going to just let it chill and sit right here for right now, and then I'll come back to it later after I get more time to like reflect on what I was feeling, reflect on what I was thinking, and how I want to put things into it for a poem. And when I get some more quiet time, because my son's back there whining and stuff, like it's too many distractions. I ain't gonna get written down what I want to get written down, and it's gonna like just throw me off on a loop. But that ending part is really what I'm glad I journaled that last part, because that's definitely going to be what helps me write the poem, because it's already kind of written in a poem form. I just got to add to it. And I can do that with the rest of the journal entry that I already have, and then what I go in to add later on tonight or whenever I decide to go back in to finish this entry. But that's basically like what I was saying about, you can have these gut feelings about, I be feeling some type of way every time I'm around this person, or every time I go to this place, this happens. So I'm going to trust my gut feeling and not do that, because if I do, then I know I'm just going to be putting myself into some mess, some stuff that I can't stomach. Like, all that part right there is already poetic. But I still want to add in that part of like, yes, you can know where your comfort zone is, and you can know when you need time to yourself. You can know when you just need to be in the comfort of your own home, because home is where the heart is, and it ain't nowhere else, and all those other spaces and all with all those other people that you don't really vibe with, you don't really feel comfortable with, whatever. But it's also, like I said, I also want to include the other side where it's like, but if you never, like, it's like on one hand, okay, you've experienced this place or these people, places, and things or whatever, so you know that you don't rock with it, you ain't feeling it, whatever, so you just avoid those spaces for those reasons, because you know that if you ignore your gut feeling, then like I said, you're gonna get into some junk, some mess or whatever that you can't stomach. But then on the other hand, those spaces that you're not really familiar with, that you're not really sure about, you're just hesitant because of the experiences that you did have, and you're like projecting it onto someone else or projecting it onto other places or whatever, thinking that you're gonna have that same experience. In those situations, it's like, if you continue to avoid that type of discomfort, then you're never gonna find comfort in it. You're never gonna be comfortable with it. You're never gonna be confident in it. You're never gonna see that, okay, it's not really that big deal, I was worried for nothing or whatever. You're never going to get that experience to know whether or not, okay, I was right with not wanting to be around this place or these people or whatever, or I was tripping, I was just all up in my head about it. I was just feeling that way because of something that I went through in the past with somebody else, but this person is actually pretty cool. Or when I come here, I catch all the creative vibes. I get all type of inspiration. I have all types of fun and stuff when I come over here, when I'm around these people, when I'm in this neighborhood, when I'm around this side of the family. Like, you never know until you go. And not just one time. Sometimes it all it takes is one time, but sometimes you just have to, in order to get comfortable with, like, if you want to use the example of going to somebody's house you've never been to or whatever, if that's somebody that's a part of your family, then the more you go over there and the more you interact with them and all that, then the more it's going to feel comfortable for you to do. The more you're going to be comfortable, the more confident you're going to be with going over there and having a conversation and just chilling, not feeling like, oh, I'm not at home, so I can't do too much. I feel uncomfortable just getting up to go to the bathroom or whatever. It's like, it takes time to build up that comfort and that trust with people in general, but also with going places, especially with going to other people's houses. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just feel like I have been so all over the place today with my thoughts. And it's a Monday, I guess. Today is a day where I really need to be in some quiet reflection. So I probably just need to spend the rest of the time doing that, because everything is just all over the place right now. But it's like, I know what I'm trying to say, I just can't get it out to words right now. And I'm usually able to just be able to journal it out or write a poem and be able to get it out that way. But even still, I'm still like kind of all over the place with it that way. So this is how I know I just need some quiet reflection time. But I guess the main thing is, yes, I know when I need some time to myself and when I just want to be in the comfort of my own home. And yes, you can know when you just need your alone time. You just need some time to yourself. You just want to be in your own space. You don't want to be in no unfamiliar spaces or just to be bothered by anybody. You just want some quiet time. You don't want to go anywhere where you're going to have to worry about being uncomfortable and all that. Those times, those moments, those feelings are valid, but you also have to ask yourself, like, are you just self-sabotaging yourself from experiences and relationships because of, things from the past? Or are you just trying to run from something, avoid something out of fear? And or you just shy and stuff, so you just don't even want to try to push through that to overcome any of that. I don't know, you just got to know when it is like, yeah, this space ain't for me, yeah, this person ain't for me. Or know when it's like yourself, like you're not allowing it to be for you, you're not allowing you to be for it. Like you're blocking yourself from your own blessings. So I guess in those moments when it's like you're avoiding those uncomfortable situations where you could be possibly missing out on certain opportunities, like using the example of just going over somebody's house that you're not really familiar with yet. You never know, like going over to that person's house, hanging out with them a lot more, that side of the family or whatever, you never know what could come out of that. You never know if it's other people in that family that are into the same things that you're into, but they just haven't been able to vocalize that yet as well. Maybe they're kind of shy like you and they kind of keeping stuff to themselves, but once you come around and they see that you're into it, then that makes them comfortable to talk about it as well. And then now y'all started a conversation on like-minded type of things that you're both interested in, things that you're both comfortable with doing or comfortable talking about with others, and now you build a connection. So those things can happen, but it can't happen if you just keep avoiding spaces because it's like, I ain't familiar with that. I know I'm going to be uncomfortable over there because I ain't never been over there before. I ain't never met that person, so I don't know about that. I'm going to just stay home today. You just keep doing that every day, every week, every month, or whatever, every time the situation comes up. You ain't never going to make no home out of that situation or that place or whatever. Ain't never going to be no comfort out of it. You're just always going to be uncomfortable and have that fear and no confidence in it, lack of confidence in that area of whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. So that's something that I'm going to have to reflect on for myself and try to, understand these moments of, like, with my situation, being at my sister's house all day yesterday, I feel like that was a situation where, okay, it was valid. I had all day, I felt overstimulated, overwhelmed or whatever. So the next day I just want that time to myself. But then I have to make sure that when situations, these moments and whatever come up again, that I don't continue to be like this. Like next time it happens, be open to it. It's 9:00 now, and so far I haven't been able to write the poem. I've just been journaling my thoughts that came out as far as the topic goes. And I can say at least that I finished this part of the journaling session. I feel like a part 2 is going to come of it probably later on tonight while I can't sleep or something. But for the most part, that first part is done, the journaling session. And I'll just have to go through that, and if I journal some more about 3 a.m. or something, and then go from there as far as the poem. The first part of that journaling session was, like I said, all over the place, but I was able to end it with tying it back to me getting my hair done. So I started out with talking about how I was uncomfortable spending all day at someone else's house, literally all day, getting my hair done, to where it made me already thinking about the next day, me just wanting to have that time and space to myself and my own comfort. And so it just, let me read what I wrote because I'm over here about to get all over the place again. So it goes back to getting my hair done. The process was uncomfortable, but the end result was a success. And now I know if I need a stylist, I have one, but I also know for future reference what to expect if I choose to have her do my hair again. So just what I was saying about, you know, if you just if you're just feeling uncomfortable for like not a real valid reason, and that's what's keeping you stuck in your own house all the time, or just in your own comfort space and never going out to experience new things, like the example going to someone's house you've never been at before. If you keep on avoiding experiences like that, this is how I tied it back to the hair. Like, going over there might be uncomfortable those first few times or whatever. So me going over there getting my hair done by her the first time, it was her first time doing my hair as well, and her first time doing my type of hair texture, the thickness of my hair and everything. So I have to also think about and consider how it might have been uncomfortable for her as well. But through that uncomfortable experience that it could have been for her, it was also a learning experience, and now she has more experience doing hair, and she probably, as she was doing it, was coming up with like better ways to complete the task faster. So then how I said, by the end result, it was a success. So if you go to this person's house or whatever, the first few times might be uncomfortable, but then you start building that connection with them. Y'all been having these conversations or whatever. Y'all might decide to venture out. Y'all might be inside the house first few times, and then y'all start stepping outside on the front porch, backyard, or whatever. Then next thing you know, y'all going to other places around the neighborhood, and then going from there, building a friendship from there, a success. And it doesn't always have to be that way, but I'm just saying, if it does, you never know if it could be that way if you keep avoiding it. Then when I say, so now I know I have a stylist, so it's like, now you know that you have this bond with this person. Now you have this person that's interested in the same things that you're into, or whatever the case may be. And I also know for future reference what to expect if I choose to have her do my hair again. So since I went through that uncomfortable experience the first time, I know for future reference, if I choose to want to have her do my hair again because it may be cheaper or whatever the case may be, I know that I have her on deck. But I also know, okay, it might take a little longer, but it ain't gonna cost me as much, but it just might take a little longer. But she might have had more practice since then as well, so it still might be long, but it might not be as long. But I know what to expect if I make that choice. I have options now. I have the option to do that, or I have the option to go to somebody who is more experienced in doing hair and can get it done in half the time. So I'm just gonna read it one more time as I end out. It goes back to getting my hair done. The process was uncomfortable, but the end result was a success. And now I know if I need a stylist, I have one, but I also know for future reference what to expect if I choose to have her do my hair again.